What if one of the darkest chapters in human history could be unraveled in the next 8 minutes? This is not a tale of heroes and villains, but a study of hate and ideology that led to the Holocaust. We'll journey through time, from the rise of anti-Semitism to the chilling policies of Nazi Germany, culminating in a genocide that shook the world. Join us on this journey as we delve into the deep-rooted origins of the Holocaust, driven by a toxic mix of anti-Semitism and Nazi ideology. Anti-Semitism, a deep-seated hostility towards Jews, is not a novelty of the 20th century. It's a dark stain on our collective history, dating back to ancient times. From the medieval pogroms in Europe to the Spanish Inquisition's expulsion of Jews, this prejudice has taken many forms over the centuries. This long-standing prejudice, fueled by ignorance and intolerance, set the stage for the horrors to come. The stage for the rise of extremist ideologies was set in post-World War I Germany. The nation, scarred by the war and burdened by the punitive Treaty of Versailles, was wrestling with economic hardship and political instability. The embittered populace sought someone to blame, creating a fertile soil for anti-Semitic sentiments to flourish. It was within this volatile environment that a charismatic yet dangerous leader would rise to power. Adolf Hitler, a deeply anti-Semitic leader, became Germany's chancellor in 1933. His rise to power was fueled by a potent combination of charisma, political savvy, and a virulent form of anti-Semitism that resonated with a nation in turmoil. Hitler's vision of a racially pure Germany free of Jews found a receptive audience among a populace seeking scapegoats for their woes. Under Hitler's leadership, the Nazi Party would propagate a poisonous blend of nationalism, racism, and anti-Semitism. The Nazi Party painted Jews as scapegoats for Germany's problems. The party, under Hitler's guidance, spread a toxic blend of nationalism, racism, and anti-Semitism. Their propaganda machine worked tirelessly, churning out messages that blamed Jews for Germany's economic and social woes. This was a deliberate strategy to gain popular support and justify their escalating persecution of Jews. This propaganda led to the institutionalization of anti-Semitism with the Nuremberg Laws. The Nuremberg Laws of 1935 stripped Jews of their rights and citizenship. These racially motivated laws, enacted by the Nazi regime, marked an unprecedented escalation in anti-Semitic policy. Jews were systematically marginalized and segregated, their lives reduced to a grim existence on the fringes of society. This brutal assault on Jewish identity and dignity was a harbinger of the horrors to come. These laws marked the beginning of a violent turning point, culminating in the infamous Kristall Night. The Kristall Night in 1938 marked a violent escalation in the persecution of Jews. This night of shattered glass saw synagogues, businesses, and homes owned by Jews destroyed in a wave of organized mass violence. The streets were strewn with shards of glass, a chilling symbol of the escalating hatred against Jews. This event was a haunting prelude to the horrors yet to come, a grim foreshadowing of the Holocaust. As the Nazis expanded their territories, so did their persecution of Jews. The Nazis' territorial expansion led to widespread violence and pogroms against Jews. As the Third Reich's grip reached out across Europe, anti-Semitism was exported with it, like a malignant contagion. Jews in newly occupied territories found themselves under the yoke of the same oppressive laws enforced in Germany. This escalation of hate, fear, and violence was not random, but a calculated part of the Nazis' agenda. These events set the stage for the systematic, state-sponsored genocide of the Holocaust. Anti-Semitism and Nazi ideology fueled the events that led to the Holocaust. As the Nazis tightened their grip on power, they implemented a series of policies and actions that systematically dehumanized, marginalized, and ultimately sought to annihilate the Jewish people. The progression from discrimination to genocide was chillingly calculated. The Nazis exploited long-standing anti-Semitic sentiments, amplified them with aggressive propaganda, and harnessed them into a machinery of hatred and death. Jews were increasingly excluded from public life, their businesses boycotted, their rights stripped away. As the Nazis expanded their territories, this ideology of hate was exported, poisoning minds and propagating violence across Europe, and then the unthinkable. Concentration camps and extermination centers were established, turning mass murder into an industrial process. Jews were transported from ghettos and occupied territories in cattle cars under horrific conditions to these grim destinations. Many were killed upon arrival. Others were subjected to forced labor, starvation, and brutal treatment. This was the Holocaust, a systematic state-sponsored genocide that claimed the lives of 6 million Jews. It was a manifestation of hate, born out of anti-Semitism and Nazi ideology, executed with chilling efficiency. This systematic state-sponsored genocide serves as a grim reminder of the depths of human cruelty. We must never forget the road that led to the Holocaust, for in its memory lies the resolve to prevent such horrors from ever happening again. Understanding the origins of the Holocaust is crucial in preventing such horrors from recurring. We've journeyed through history, from age-old anti-Semitism through the rise of Hitler, to the devastating implementation of the Nuremberg laws and the horrors of Kristallnacht. This path led to the unimaginable atrocities of the Holocaust. By recalling these painful memories, we strive to learn, to grow, and to ensure such a tragedy never repeats itself. We must remember the past to build a better future, a future free from such atrocities.